There's a doctor on social media telling millions of people that calories don't matter for weight loss, and he says that you can eat 6,000 calories of salmon and nuts without gaining weight because hormones control everything, not calories. Meanwhile, people are getting fatter following his advice, wondering why they can't lose weight eating all these healthy foods. I've been coaching people for a good number of years, dieted down to single digit body fat more times than I can count, tested every approach from keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, high fat, low fat, and watch thousands of people get results using one simple principle that the doctor throws out. So today I'm breaking down this doctor's most dangerous claims and then thinks he can eat unlimited salmon and the hormone excuse that's keeping people stuck. Because right now, people are eating 4,000 calories worth of healthy food and wondering why they're gaining weight. They're blaming the hormones instead of looking at the real problem, and this doctor is profiting from their confusion. I'm going to give you the 3-step system that actually works, plus mindset shifts that stop you from falling for this expensive BS ever again. This is what this doctor wants you to believe. Calories don't cause weight gain, hormones do. And he posts videos saying stop blaming calorie surplus for obesity, and it's not about calories in, calories out. It's about hormones, it's about whole foods. It sounds very scientific, sounds like you finally off the hook for those extra pounds. But he's literally saying you can break the laws of physics. That if you eat 4,000 calories of salmon, your metabolism will just burn it off because it's whole food. But if you eat 2,000 calories worth of processed food, you'll gain weight even in a deficit. He's claiming that calories from salmon is somehow different than calories from bread at molecular level. But if you think about it logically, he's telling you that your body can create or destroy energy based on food quality. Your body doesn't have a food scanner that decides whether calories count or not based on processing methods. Here's the reality. Hormones influence how much you want to eat, but they don't change the physics of energy storage. If you're in a surplus, you gain weight. You're in a deficit, you lose weight. Hormones make the process easier or harder, but they don't override thermodynamics. People push blame outwards, like trauma, hormones, genetics. But life is simple and your choices matter, not your excuses. But here's where this doctor's story gets really shady. There was someone that commented on the guy's post saying that he lost weight eating pizza and processed food in a calorie deficit. And it's a simple story and one that is actually true. The guy tracks his calories, stays in a deficit and loses weight. But this threatened the doctor's entire business model because it proved calories matter more than food quality for weight loss. So what did the doctor do? He told the guy that he didn't actually lose fat. He lost muscle and gained fat. When the guy said that he actually had body fat testing proving that he lost fat, the doctor said, that's impossible. And then when pressed further, the doctor said that body testing can't be wrong because processed foods can't lead to fat loss, even in a deficit. But it gets worse. When people kept challenging him with evidence, he deleted all the comments and blocked everyone who disagreed, including other coaches. And he literally tried to erase proof that contradicted his theory. That's not science, it's dogma. Real scientists change their theories when faced with contradictory evidence. This doctor deleted the evidence and blocked the messengers. And that tells you everything about whether he cares more about truth or whether he cares more about profit. And the doctor assumed junk food automatically equals fat gain, but the data completely disproved it. It's like saying a map is wrong while standing at the destination. The evidence is right there. The assumptions block acceptance. So if he's wrong about processed food, what about his unlimited healthy food theory? The doctor's most dangerous claim is that you can have unlimited amounts of whole foods without gaining weight, and he specifically says you can eat 3,000 to 6,000 calories worth of salmon, eggs, bacon, nuts, avocados, because your metabolism will just speed up and burn it off. It's like having a magic furnace that only burns the good calories. So let me give you a real world example. If I switch from my current diet, which is a lot of food, low calorie food, and switch to his plan with 6 whole eggs and half a kilo of bacon and 3 salmons for lunch and nuts for snacks and avocado all day long and eat over 5,000 calories, do you think I would gain weight? Here's what's insane. He admits these are bulking foods that bodybuilders use to gain weight, but somehow they become magical fat loss foods when you call them whole foods. That's like saying a Ferrari becomes fuel efficient if you paint it green. The truth is brutal but simple. I've dieted down a lot and I know what it takes, and it's never about eating unlimited amounts of food, no matter how clean they are. You gain weight in a surplus, you lose weight in a deficit. Period. But choosing high calorie healthy foods in a bulk increases friction for fat loss. Keystone habits should reduce resistance, not add to it. It's like loading your backpack up with gold bricks instead of rocks. It's still heavy, but calories are calories even if they're more valuable. But maybe you're thinking, what about trigger foods and cravings? If this is making sense and you're tired of being lied to about weight loss, I put together a free 21-day email sequence that cuts through all of the BS and shows you what actually works. Links in the description for free if you want it. Here's something the doctor actually gets partially right. Processed foods can be trigger foods that make you overeat, like ice cream, cereal, cookies, crisps, McDonald's. They're designed to be hyper palatable. You start with a few bites and ended up the whole container. And I avoid these foods not because they're evil, but because they make staying in a deficit harder. But here's where he goes wrong. He thinks the solution is eating unlimited amounts of other trigger foods. Nuts, peanut butter, cheese and bacon. They're so easy to overeat. I could demolish 2,000 calories worth of nuts in one sitting. The doctor acts like your hunger hormones magically shut off when you eat real food. Ask anyone who's binged on trail mix or almond butter. Whole foods can trigger overeating too. The difference isn't the processing, it's the calorie density and palatability. So smart strategy isn't about avoiding fake foods, it's about designing your environment to make the deficit easier. I choose low calorie foods, not because processed foods are evil, but because they help me stay full while losing weight. It's like shaping the environment to avoid the willpower battles. If you just have to remove the tripwires from your path. You don't just walk around these tripwires carefully. You design a new route for your trip. Speaking of food categories, let's talk about this. Real versus fake food nonsense. The doctor loves dividing foods into real and fake. Salmon is real, Twinkies are fake. Eggs are real, protein powder is fake. It sounds noble and pure, like he's fighting the truth against big food, but it's actually a manipulation tactic designed to make you feel guilty about eating practical choices. So here's the problem with his logic. If it has the calories and nutrients, it's real food. A Twinkie provides energy, just like salmon does. Different nutrients, same caloric reality. When I eat protein bars, my body doesn't reject it as fake. It processes the protein, the carbs and the fats like any other food. This moral categorization creates impossible standards. You can't eat protein powder because it's processed. And you can't have low-fat dairy because it's modified. And you can't use artificial sweeteners because they're chemicals. Meanwhile, you're supposed to eat unlimited amounts of bacon and nuts because they're natural. This isn't about health, it's about control. By making you afraid of convenient lower calorie options, he forces you into eating higher calorie approved foods. Then when you gain weight eating his real foods, he blames your hormones instead of just admitting that his system is completely flawed. You think about the smoky mirror. The perception clouds truth. Labeling foods real versus fake is an illusion. Energy balance is the reality. So it's like calling the sun fake because it hides behind clouds. Reality doesn't change based on the label that you give it. And this brings us to his most dangerous lie of all. When people follow the doctor's advice and don't lose weight, he's got a perfect excuse ready. It's not the diet, it's your hormones. They'll tell people that they can eat low calories and still not lose weight because hormonal issues. It's the ultimate get out of jail free card for failed diet advice. And this is where he gets really manipulative. He tells people that hormones control weight. It's a hormone surplus, not a calorie surplus that gets you fat. And he literally puts hormones, not calories, in bold text like shouting makes it true. Hormones, not calories. But here's what's really happening. When people can't lose weight eating these high calorie foods, they're not actually in a deficit. They're eating 3,000 calories worth of healthy food and wondering why the scale won't budge. But instead of checking the maths, they blame mysterious hormone problems. And this is the most toxic part of his message. It removes the personal responsibility. It's not your fault you're not losing weight, it's your hormones. But hormones don't override physics. They influence hunger, they influence cravings, but you still choose whether you eat it or not. We use symptoms like anxiety hormones and excuses as tools to avoid facing goals. The steering wheel doesn't set the direction, your hands do. It's like blaming the steering wheel when you keep turning left. The tools don't control the direction, your choices do. And that's exactly why this pisses me off so much. You want to know what makes me really furious? This doctor is getting rich selling people permission to fail. He's telling people exactly what they want to hear. It's not your fault. Eat whatever you want as long as it's natural. Your hormones are broken. When his advice fails, he has the perfect scapegoat ready. This isn't medicine, it's manipulation. He created a system where it can never be wrong. If you lose weight, his diet works. If you gain weight, your hormones are broken, you need more coaching, more supplements, more excuses. Real coaches get results. Real doctors follow evidence. This guy deletes comments and blocks anyone who proves him wrong. And that's not science, that's a cult. Meanwhile, People are suffering. They're eating 4,000 calories worth of healthy food, gaining weight, and thinking something is wrong with the bodies. Nothing is wrong with the bodies. Something is wrong with the advice that they're following. So let me give you what actually works. You're not broken. Your hormones aren't mysteriously malfunctioning. You've been given advice that prioritizes ideology over physics. Weight loss isn't about moral food categorization or hormone optimizing. It's about energy balance, made sustainable through smart food choices. So here are 3 steps that actually work. Accept calories determine weight change. Quality affects hunger, health and adherence, but quantity determines the scale. Stop looking for magical loopholes in base physics. Number 2, choose foods that help you stay in a deficit. That might mean lean proteins, lots of vegetables, and yes, some processed foods that keep you satiated. Don't let food morality sabotage the process. And step 3, take responsibility for your choices. Hormones influence appetite, but you control the fork. Genetics influence difficulty, but you control the effort. Stop looking for external blame and start looking for practical solutions. Weight loss is about physics, not about purity. The most natural thing your body can do is store excess energy as fat, regardless of the source. You don't need perfect hormones, you don't need perfect foods. You need a sustainable deficit and the courage to stop making excuses. So if you want a full, complete system for creating a sustainable deficit without all the BS, that video just there, and I'll break it all down for you. You can set up your system within 36 minutes.